Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a vintage crochet flower pot holder. The free written pattern can be found on my website at julesandjones.com along with step-by-step photos, and you can find a link for that in the description box below. Alright, here are some of the materials you are going to need to make this pot holder. For the pattern, you are going to need 2 different colors of a fingering DK weight yarn. I'm using Scheepjes Katona yarn, which is 100% mercerized cotton yarn, and so you're going to need 2 balls for the petals and 1 ball for the center and outer edge. Now, if you can't get a hold of Scheepjes Katona yarn, because I know that not everybody has it available, you can also use Lion Brand 24/7 cotton yarn. I just have the worsted weight one on hand, but if you can get a hold of the DK version, the 24/7 DK, that would work even better. So, but just make sure that whatever yarn you use, that it is cotton, because these are going to be used as pot holders, and so if we were to use acrylic, we wouldn't want our cotton or our yarn to melt when something hot is placed on it. All right, and then next you are going to need a 3.0 millimeter crochet hook, which is a size D. You're also just going to need a pair of scissors to cut your yarn, a darning needle to work in your ends, and just a stitch marker to help know where to place our stitches. And that is all you need for this pattern. And so I went ahead and just laid it out right here just so I can show you what we're going to be doing. But essentially we are going to be making 2 petals and then seaming it together to create the pot holder. Okay, so this is the front side and then this is the back side. All right, and I just wanted to show you a few more examples, but I've actually made these pot holders in a couple of different colors. So for this one, I used 3 different colors. So I used pink for my center and outer edges, and then for my petals, I used white and then a little bit of orange on top. And here's another one. For this one, I used 4 different colors. So I did orange in the middle, and then an orange on the outer edges, and then I did stripes in pink, gray, and white. And then here's one more I did in 3 colors. And so I did orange again in the middle, and then orange on the outside, and then I did a little bit of pink here in the middle for my petals, and then I finished it off with gray. And yeah, so you can do a lot of different things with these pot holders, and I just wanted to show you some of the different colors that I used. All right, so let's go ahead and get straight into our tutorial. Our first step in making this flower pot holder is to make the center of our petal. And so the center is the circle. And so here's an example of what you're going to do, because you're going to make 2 of these. And so this is the center part that we're making right here. And so this circle is made up of 3 rounds of double crochet. And so that's what we're going to be starting out with. So you can either start the circle by making a magic circle, or you can also work it the chain method. All right, so I'm going to be showing you how to do it with the magic circle way. So go ahead and take the tail end of your yarn, and I'm working in the lighter color, so in the linen color, and you're just going to wrap it around your fingers twice. Okay, so take it like this, and I've got it wrapped around 3 fingers. Place your thumb right here, wrap it around to the front, wrap it in the back by crossing it, then wrap it in the front again, then place it in the middle. Grab your thumb, place your thumb on that spot, bring it to the front, take your crochet hook, go underneath the first strand, over the second one, pull it and twist, and then go underneath the second strand. And then I like to take my finger here, because it can get a little bit fidgety here, and then go underneath that chain. And there you go. Now you've just created a magic circle, and then you can use the tail end to pull it close. All right, so once you've made your magic circle or your chains, you want to go ahead and chain 3. I like to count this first chain as my first chain, so I'm going to make 2 more chains. So second one and my third one. All right, So once you've made your starting chain, this also counts as your double crochet, you're going to make 14 more double crochets within this circle for a total of 15. Okay, so for a double crochet, yarn over hook, insert it into your magic circle, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops for a double crochet. All right, let's go ahead and do another one. Yarn over, insert your hook through your circle, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. All right, and so now we have 3 double crochets. So just continue to do this until you have 15 total. Once you have made 15 double crochets, it is time to join our round. So go ahead and make a slip stitch in the 3rd chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Here's my 3rd chain. I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. All right, and that is your completed round 1. So now we're going to start with round 2. Now round 2 is going to be 30 double crochets, and you're going to make 2 double crochets within each stitch. All right, so go ahead and chain 3, work a double crochet in the same stitch that your chain 3 came from. Okay, so you should have something like this. And now we're going to make 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So it's not this one. Be very careful with this spot here, okay? Because else you'll end up with 32 stitches. And then go ahead and work your hook in the next stitch. Make a double crochet. Make another double crochet in that same stitch. So you should have something that looks like this. And now just continue to make 2 more in every stitch until you come right here. Once you have made 30 stitches, you should have something that looks like this. And so now all we have to do is slip stitch to the 3rd chain to complete round 2. So 1, 2, and 3. There's my 3rd chain. Go ahead and insert your hook and make a slip stitch. All right, so now we're on to round 3. All right, so for round 3, we need to chain 3, and this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And now we're going to make 2 double crochets in the following stitch. So here's my following stitch. Okay, go ahead and make your 2 double crochets. So here's my first one and my second one. Okay, and then in the next stitch, you're going to make 1 double crochet. And so that is the sequence for round 3. So in the next stitch, I'm making 2 double crochets. And then you're going to make 1 double crochet in the following one, and just continue to do this all the way around your circle, and you want to have a total of 45. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue, and I'll meet you right back here. All right, so I've made 45 double crochets, and so now it's time to slip stitch to our 3rd chain to complete round 3. And I just want to point out, be very careful that you did not put an extra stitch right here, because that's where our chain 3 is coming out of, okay? Because else you'll end up for 46 and then the petals won't match for the next round. All right, so let's count 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3. Insert your hook, and then yarn over, pull through for a slip stitch. All right, and so now we completed round 3. So now it is time to start our petal part of this tutorial. All right, so we just finished our 3rd round, and so now we're going to start our petal part of our pot holder. And so now what we need to do though is, before we start the petal part, is we need to add our 2nd color, because our 2nd color is made in the blue color. All right, so for this part, we need to make 2 more slip stitches, and then that last slip stitch that we're going to make, that's when we're going to switch colors for a seamless color change. All right, so go ahead and make another slip stitch. All right, and then insert your hook into the following stitch, just like this, but then pull your working yarn to the side, and you can go ahead and cut it like I did if you want to, okay? Grab your 2nd color, drape it over your hook, okay, and then pull it through. and then pull it through one more time for seamless color change. And so you should have something that looks like this. All right, okay. So now we're ready to start round 4. So for round 4, we want to chain 4. Okay, and then we're going to make one more double crochet in the same spot where our chain come from. So where that second color is, that's where you're going to insert your hook. So yarn over and make a double crochet. All right, and you should have something that looks like this. Now this chain 4 counts as your double crochet plus chain. All right, so now we want to chain 1, and we're going to make that little sequence again. So we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and then the following one we are going to make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet, all in that same stitch. So you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and so that is going to be our sequence for all the way around the circle for round 4. So chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and work a double crochet in the following stitch, along with a chain and another double crochet in that same stitch. Okay, there you go. You should have 3 groups right now of a double crochet, chain, and double crochet. And so just continue that all the way around, and you should have 15 groups total, okay? And then don't forget your chains in the middle of these groups. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue, and I'll meet you right here towards the end. All right, so I finished my 15 groups of double crochet, and so now we are going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain, okay? So go ahead and find your 3rd slip stitch, 1, 2, and 3. Insert your hook and make a slip stitch. And then we're going to make one more slip stitch in this group right here, the group of double crochets. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, so now we're ready to start round 5. Okay, so for round 5, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Your chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and now we're going to make one more double crochet in that spot. Okay, so into the spot from the group on from the round before. Okay, we're going to push it over just a little bit so it's on the side, and now we are going to chain 1, and then we are going to make 2 more double crochets within that space. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and so now we need to chain 1, and now it's time to repeat that sequence into every group. Okay, so we're going to make 2 double crochets within that space, chain 1, and 2 double crochets again, all within that space. And then we are going to chain 1. So you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and just continue that sequence all the way around until we're ready to slip stitch. All right, so I've just made my last group, and so now we just need to make a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Insert your hook and make your slip stitch. Okay, and then make one more slip stitch within that space, or you can do that into the next stitch, whichever way you prefer. All right, and so now for round 6, we are going to repeat round 5. So chain 3. All right, that chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. Go ahead and make another double crochet in that space. Chain 1 and make another double crochet. And then one more for a total of 4 double crochets, and then chain in the middle. And you should have something that looks like this. All right, let's do one more together. So chain 1, work 2 double crochets within that space, chain one, and then work 2 more double crochets. All right, and just go ahead and continue to repeat that sequence all the way around. All right, so I'm towards the end of my round 6 here, and so now what we need to do is just slip stitch to the 3rd chain, 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and insert your hook in the 3rd chain, make a slip stitch, and then make 1 more slip stitch in that space. And there we go, round 6 is complete. So now we're off to round 7. Now for round 7, we are going to chain 3. This counts as your double crochet. And so now we're going to be working 3 double crochets, chain, and another 3 double crochets, all within this space. Okay, so this counts as our first one. So go ahead and make 2 more. Scoot it to the side a bit if you need to. Okay, and we're going to make a chain 1 and then 3 more double crochets, and then chain 1. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and so we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around again. All right, let's do one more together. First, make your 3 double crochets all within that space. Then chain 1. Make 3 more double crochets. And chain 1. Okay, you should have something that looks like this. All right, just continue to do that all the way around. All right, so we're almost at the end of round 7. So now once again, we are going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain. Okay, and now we're going to make 2 more additional slip stitches. So 1 in the next stitch, and then you can work 1 in the space or the stitch before that, whichever way you prefer. All right, so now we just completed round 7 and we're off to round 8. So for round 8, we're going to chain 3 again. And now within this space, we are going to be making 4 double crochets, 2 chains, and another 4. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and make our double crochet. Make 2 more. Chain 2. And then 4 more double crochets, and push it to the side if you need to, okay, those double crochets. And then chain 1. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, so just continue to repeat that sequence. Let's do it one more time. Yarn over, insert your hook into that space, make 4 double crochets, chain 2, and then make 4 more double crochets. And chain 1, and there you go, and that's our sequence. So just to continue to repeat that all the way around. All right, so I'm just about finished with round 8, so now we just need to make our slip stitch into that 3rd chain. Okay, and then this time we are making an additional 3 slip stitches. So go ahead and work 1 slip stitch in that first stitch, and then work another slip stitch in the following stitch, and then you can either work another slip stitch here, or you could even do 2 if you would like, 1 here and 1 here. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in that space. and work a slip stitch just like that. All right, so now round 8 is done. We're ready to start round 9, and round 9 is just going to be a repeat of round 8. So we're just going to chain 3. We're going to make 4 double crochets first within that space. That's 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to chain 2. I'm going to scooch it over a bit, and we are going to make 4 more double crochets. I think we need one more. Yep, one more over here, and chain 1. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this, and now just continue to do that all the way around again. So it's just a repeat of the previous row. All right, so I'm here at the end of my round 9, and we are just going to make that slip stitch again. Okay, there we go, and then make 3 additional slip stitches. All right, and there we go. Okay, so now we're ready to start round 10. Now round 10, we want to start off by chaining 3 again. And this time we're going to make 5 double crochets. So this counts as 1, so we need to make 4 more. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you are going to chain 2 and then work 5 more double crochets. That's 3, 4, and 5, and then chain 1. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Now continue that sequence all the way around for round 10. All right, so I just finished my last group, and so now we are ready to close off round 10. Okay, so find your third chain, 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and make a slip stitch. All right, now you can finish it off at this point, or you can do the additional slip stitches that we've been doing for every row. Okay, so you can make an additional 4. So go ahead and insert your hook into the next stitch, make a slip stitch, make another slip stitch, then make another one, and then make a following one. All right, and then go ahead and grab your scissors, cut your yarn, and then pull it through just like that, and that's to secure it. And then you just want to go ahead and work in this strand of yarn and any other yarns before you start putting your petal together. Okay, so once you've finished making 2 petals and you've worked in your end, it is time for the fun part, which is putting your petals together to create our flower. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and grab your 2 petals. You're going to place the first one down, make sure that the wrong side is facing you. Then grab your second petal and make sure that the right side is facing you on this part. So the inner sides of the petal are going to be the wrong sides, and then the front sides, the right side should be facing you. Okay, and then make sure that they're put on exactly on top of each other. You kind of want to be precise with this part because it'll make the seaming part a little bit easier. Okay, and then once you think it looks good, then you can start placing either a stitch marker or some clips, but this part is optional. I just found it a lot easier. So what I did was, and on my blog post, I showed you how to use the stitch markers, but you could literally put them right on top of the point of your groups. So I just placed them every third. So you could just do it like that. And if you were to use a stitch marker, you would just pop it open and place them like this. And then this just really helps keep everything aligned. So you could just go like this. And then I will show you what it looks like. Just like that. So if you were to pick it up, everything would stay in place. Okay, so now that that step is done, it is time to seam it together. All right, so our next step is to grab our crochet hook again and the first color that you worked with. So we worked with the linen color first. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and grab your crochet hook and you can insert it in any one of the spaces within the groups. Okay, so I'm just choosing the one next to my stitch marker and make sure you insert it through both petals. So here's my first petal, here's my second petal. Take that second color. The tail end is on my right side, the working yarn is on my left side, and you are going to place it right on top and you're going to carefully pull it through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through one more time to attach our yarn. Okay, and our next step after this is to work 5 single crochets on top of our double crochet stitches. Okay, so we made 5 double crochet stitches in the previous row, round 10, and that's where you're going to work your single crochets. Okay, so go ahead and insert your hook in the first double crochet, then insert it into the second double crochet. So you'll have 5 loops on your hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and 5. Then yarn over hook, pull through, and then yarn over one more time to make that single crochet. Okay, so let's do that again. Insert it in through the double crochet of the first petal, insert it through the double crochet of the second petal, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through one more time for a single crochet. All right, so we've just made 2. Let's go ahead and make our third one. Okay, and then make our fourth one. And then we're going to make our last one here. So always make sure you have those 2 petals on your hook, and there you go. You should have something that looks like this. Okay, next step is we need to make a slip stitch within the chain 2 chains from the previous row. So take your hook, go underneath that chain 2 space, yarn over hook, and pull through for a slip stitch. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. Our next step is to work slip stitches all the way down until we get right here. Okay, now for this next part, you do need to work very loosely because else your petals will start to bunch. Okay, so, and also this next part can be a little bit finicky at first until you know where the stitch goes with your hook. So it'll feel a little funny, but I promise you after you get through the first couple, you'll fly through the rest. Okay, so go ahead and we are going to work a slip stitch. So what I want you to do is make sure you have a loose handle on it, on your working yarn. You're going to pull your hook to the third one down, okay? I know this looks a little big, but trust me on this, it'll work. Okay, and then you want to take your hook underneath both of the petals like this. Grab that working yarn, pull it through, and lift up. And see how that slip stitch closes? Okay, so let's do it again. Pull your yarn to the second spot, right about here. Insert your hook underneath, all the way underneath so you see it from the back side. And then wrap your yarn over, pull it through, and up and down. See how we're doing that? And just make sure your fit is good over here so it's not too tight. All right, let's do it again. We're halfway there. So pull your hook down, insert your hook underneath, make sure it's through both petals, pull it from the back into that loop, and then pull up and down. Let's do it again. Make sure it's on that second one, pull it through, grab the yarn from the back, pull it through the loop, and up and down. All right, let's do it. We've got a few more. Insert from the back, pull the yarn, pull it through the loop, and there you go. We've got one more. Insert your hook from the bottom, in the back, pull the yarn, pull it through, and there we go. All right, so now you should have something that looks like this. Okay, so now our next step is to make 2 slip stitches right here. Okay, so now we can tighten this yarn a little bit. You can play around with it so it gets a little bit smaller. And we're going to insert our hook into that first stitch. Make sure it goes through the back, so on the back stitches. Then pull that yarn again through the front. And then carefully push it through that stitch, and we've made our first slip stitch here. Then work your way over to that second stitch. Make sure it's fitted through the back again. Pull the yarn through and through the loop, and there you go. Now you've made your second slip stitch. So now you should have something that looks like this. And now we just need to work our way up. Okay. So here we go again. We're going to pull our yarn up a little bit, just like that. Insert our hook on top of that space. Make sure it's through both loops. Pull the yarn from the back, pull it through your loop, and there you go. All right, here we go. Here's our next one. Insert your hook, pull it through the back, and we are back at the front. All right, so here we go again. Insert your hook, pull it from the back and then front. Insert your hook, pull it from the back and front. All right, 2 more. So insert from the back and pull it from the front. And now we're going to insert it again, pull it from the back and front, and then 1 more time. And there you go. You should have something that looks like this. So going down is definitely a little bit more trickier than when you're working up. But like I said, once you've done a few, you'll fly through the rest. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and work 5 single crochets going back up. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and work a single crochet in each of the double crochets again, and we want a total of 5. So insert your hook through the first top of the double crochet from the previous row. Then make sure you get the back petal and work your single crochet. Okay, and so now we're going to grab our second one. And work our single crochet. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our third. And our fourth, and then 1 more, which is our 5th. And you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and so now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and make 3 single crochets in that space. So in that space from the previous round, okay, so our groups. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. And that completes a sequence. So now what you want to do is you want to repeat this all the way around. Okay, so you would work 5 single crochets again, slip stitch, work your slip stitches going down, make 2 slip stitches in your third round of your circle, work slip stitches going up, and then your 5 single crochets, and then your 3 single crochets within that space. And that's it. So just continue to do that all the way around. All right, so I'm here towards the end of my petal, and so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, you should have a flower. And so now we just need to make a slip stitch to the first double crochet within the group of 5. So I went ahead and cut my yarn. Okay, and so we are just going to work that slip stitch right here. So this is my first double crochet of my group of 5. I'm just going to insert it right on top of that double crochet, and I'm just going to make a slip stitch. And then you want to pull it through, and then you want to pull it tight, and now you just want to work this tail end in. And when you work it in, I would recommend working it underneath these loops right here. Okay, that'll be more of a seamless look. And that is it. And that is how you make a flower pot holder. All right, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed making this vintage crochet pot holder. As you can see, you can really choose any color scheme that you like. You can go with 2 solid colors, you can do 3 colors, you can make stripes, you can really go wild. And so what's great about these is not only are they functional, but they're cute. So I think that's a plus in my book. And anyhow, yeah, I hope the tutorial was helpful. So you can find the pattern notes and directions in my blog post. So just click that link in the description box and it'll have everything that you're going to need to make this pattern. It's also going to have some additional photos. So if you want to see a close-up of something, it's there. And then yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos by me. And then thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed. You guys are all so sweet and I'm so thankful that you guys come back and watch my videos. So yeah, have a beautiful day and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!